Good evening. It's Monday, January 13th. It is 6:05 p.m. and this is the Board of Health. So first, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and secondly, review the agenda, add or remove any items.
The only under directors issues, it's not really an issue. I just wanted to give you an update on budget
Okay.
and flu.
Budget and flu, sure.
The update is already, flu is already up there under old business.
Oh, okay. So
She
just
thinks it's
budget.
that important, she's gonna talk about it twice. So, okay. Next item is approval of the bill schedule. We have 4 things to deal with. We have Cheryl Lewinsky, our public health nurse. We have 2 bills for Cheryl. We have the T&G, which is an ad, I'm taking it.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
okay.
was the resolution.
And then we have the MHOA winter seminar for Darlene. On pause for a few minutes at that point. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the bill schedule?
You do.
I will.
make that motion.
I will second that motion. And how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes for me. It's 2-0 to approve the bill schedule. All right. Unprepared. Minus 2 points. Okay, well, we're gonna jump right into the agenda items before we have to move on. So the first item is programs, goals, and objectives. If you want to start with that, Darlene.
Sure. The prescription take-back program, as you know, we have the unit, the take-back unit over at the police station. I've checked it a couple of times. We already have product that's in the unit. So we're doing a routine check on that to see when we need to empty it, so we're still okay. We have contracted with KG Signs to put a logo on that unit. So just waiting for them to do that. I have spoken with them recently, and they are going to be doing it anytime. So as soon as we get the logo on there, then I'll let the board know, and we can do, a formal announcement on
Excellent.
that. But people are already using it, so we're thrilled on that. The Household Hazardous Waste Day event. I had this on here because I wanted to actually start talking about planning, because we're in January, but I know January is going to fly, and pretty soon we'll be in the springtime. So I wanted to suggest possibly trying to coordinate sometime maybe in April, because April has Earth Day, and I think it makes sense to kind of maybe do something around that. We also, April or May, something close to Earth Day. Earth Day, I think, is the 3rd week in April 22nd. They usually will have events before or after the weekend before. That weekend is actually Easter Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to stay away from that weekend, obviously. I was thinking either like maybe the 1st or 2nd week in April, depending on, obviously this depends on a lot of things, if we get if the company has availability. But I was thinking the beginning of April, or if that doesn't work, we could go to the beginning of May, but we got to be careful in May because of all the graduation.
And graduation's Mother's Day. That's-
In the past, it's always been the Saturday before Mother's Day,
Day.
not the day before Mother's Day.
the weekend
but the
before.
weekend
That's what we've
before
always done.
Mother's Day weekend.
That way we didn't get into the high school graduations, which are
Right.
usually the 15th or beyond.
Yep.
It was always the 1st. I think there was one year we were like the 6th, and another year I think was the 8th or something.
Yes.
So I was just looking at that schedule, and obviously want to, get your input to see what you think we can, obviously, I think it would work either way. So if we're gonna do it, before Earth Day, it could kind of hype up Earth Day, or after, getting everybody thinking about, okay, it's Earth Day, start gathering all your stuff together.
Yeah, pick it up and then drop it off here once you put everything together.
Right.
That's not a bad idea.
So I think we can, obviously work with either one. If you have a preference, obviously I'll look at that, but I think it really kind of depends on, when we can get availability.
Yeah. I am not available the 26th of April. which
Okay.
is the weekend after. I'm gone the 25th, 26th, and 27th to a wedding in Jersey, so I will not
Okay.
be available then. So, so the 12th, that's fine. I think we've always done it in May for the simple fact that depending on the weather, people are starting to dig out
Sure.
their sheds and get their paint and all that. But I mean, I like the idea of tying it into Earth Day. I really do. I think it's a great idea. If Easter wasn't the weekend before, the
Right.
weekend before, that would have been perfect. Doing it on the
Right.
18th,
Yeah.
the 19th. I mean, it would have been an excellent, precursor to Earth Day.
But I mean, we could shoot for, we could shoot for May 3rd.
Mhm.
I'm nervous about anything like.
Beyond that.
Yeah, because I think we start getting into either high school or college graduations, and it seems like everybody's May.
And I think the 11th is Mother's Day.
Proms.
Yeah. Mother's
proms.
Day is
It's the 11th. So
Yeah, proms.
and
yeah.
proms. So,
So we can,
if you want to shoot for May 3rd,
okay,
that works for me. How's that work for you?
That sounds good.
okay.
Oh, we just want it to be warm and not rainy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of calls lately asking for one of these days.
Yes.
So
People
yeah.
are really,
So,
appreciative.
What we'll
So-
do is you want to start with May 3rd being our top date, and
Yep.
then if we can't, go back to the 12th of April,
Okay,
depending on what they have available for the sites.
yep, sounds good. And I was going to try to use the location that we're comfortable with at the skating rink.
Yep.
Skating arena. So we will start talking about it and see about, how those 2 days work.
Yeah, we'll have to look over. We have a site plan somewhere. Andy
Yes.
kept one. I think we were talking about moving the electronics
Yes,
this year, maybe
absolutely.
down to that first corner,
Yep.
and that way we can have one roll. If you don't have electronics, you go over here. And we thought the electronics is what slowed us up.
Yep.
And both times we've ran it there.
Definitely.
So if we could move that along, I think we'll find a lot. We might be a little quicker paced and smoother.
Are you
And I
mean
think,
in the beginning at the entrance, or you
No,
mean
like when
put
they
it
come
in-
in, they come in like this,
Yeah,
and here's the building. They come in this area here, and we always had them wrap around,
Right.
and the electronics are over here. Andy and I last time had thought maybe this corner over here, as they're pulling in, this first corner could be where they have it. I mean, we'll
where
look
that
at it.
building is?
Before the building.
Oh, before the
This would be like the entrance is here to the street, so we actually give room for 15 to 20 cars to come in, so we're not blocking off the road.
Good.
So, but we'll have to look into it and see what the logistics are. That's gonna be, right now, let's get a date and then we can plan after that. And we'll have to see if the police, and, I'm sorry, I can't remember the sergeant's name, who does the take back. Because we'll have to set up with him
Mark
too.
Moss?
Mark Moss. He does the take back program through the lodge, right? Doesn't he
Oh,
do-
you're talking the Mercury?
Nope, the lodge, the electronics.
Oh, yes,
That's,
yeah,
the
I
Masons.
have already spoken
That's the
to
Masons.
somebody at the Masons.
Okay,
Oh, that's
excellent,
good.
Yep, so
Excellent,
they
good.
are on board.
cool.
Do you wanna,
What we'll do is if
I can do it quick.
all right, do the flu and then we'll break and move.
Okay, so the flu, I wanted to give you an update. I think you have probably seen in the news, flu is starting to become widespread. And, obviously, we don't want to be panicked, but people have to be aware that they are going to be susceptible to flu now because of the widespread activity. So with that, we had talked about getting another clinic possibly after the holidays. I have connected with the Auburn Mall, and they were gracious enough to be able to offer us space like we did last year. And so
Saw that
we actually
downstairs.
we just got this advertised and confirmed, so we have the flyers up. I actually put them up today. But this coming Saturday, from 10 to 4, we're going to be in the same area right outside the Macy's Home Store, the court.
Yeah.
Where Santa is.
Where Santa is, yeah, exactly. So we're going to be set up there. We do have our 2 nurses have confirmed, and I'm coordinating with the mall to try to get the tables and so forth. So with this weekend is a long weekend, so I think there's going to be a lot of people out and about. and, you know, it kind of adds to the whole shopping and, you know, people having an extra day to be enjoying themselves. So we're hoping that that will give us a good amount of traffic at the mall. In the past, we were there for like an evening for a couple of hours. This, we're trying to extend pretty much most of the day. So we'll have the morning and the afternoon. And we're thinking that because of the increased advertisement about flu, I think that we'll hopefully be able to give some shots away.
Excellent.
All right. So that's going to be Saturday. If any of you want to join us, you're more than welcome.
No, definitely.
Okay.
Fine.
Beautiful.
Okay. At this point, we have to go into recess so we can relocate ourselves. So we're in recess. Okay, we're now going to reconvene the Board of Health meeting. We just took a recess to move down the hall to another position. So at this point, we have a couple hearings to go through. The first hearing is for Auntie Anne's Pretzels permit. There was a license expiration date extension request, and we got paperwork on that, I believe.
Yes, hopefully
Yep.
in your packet, you have a written request from Patricia Collins Bernini, president of KPB Pretzels, and they are the new owners of Auntie Annie's Pretzels. It basically was, it's the same operation, they're doing all the same normal activity, however, it was just basically a change in ownership. This change of ownership occurred towards the end of the year, the end of November, I believe was when we got the permit application and issued the permits. I spoke at length with the owner and her husband, and they had asked about the permitting. I did explain that our permits go from a calendar year, so January 1st through December 31st, and explained to them that although they were getting permitted at the end of November, the permitting process would begin again for January 1st. So I explained to them that they had the option of requesting to the board to see if the board would consider extending that license fee through the 2014 calendar year. And so before you have a request for Auntie Annie's.
Okay, and there's no one here from Auntie Annie's, so I'm going to close. I'd like to take a motion to close the evidentiary part of the hearing.
I make that motion.
I second the motion. Roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ray votes aye. 2-0 to close the evidentiary part. Now it's discussion. Okay, so they bought it in, just in case you don't know, Marion, someone purchases, the permits do not change with ownership. You have to get a new permit if you buy a business that's already open. So if I had a coffee shop and you came in and bought it from me, you would have to get a new permit. That's the way the law reads.
I'm not gonna buy any coffee shop.
So that's how the permits run. So they did what they were supposed to do. They filed for the permit. They bought it right around Thanksgiving, and so they had it for a total of 5.5 weeks. So they paid their total cost of $450 for 5.5 weeks, and then in order for them to become
That's a total cost for the year.
that's for the year. So
Yeah.
January to December, that's what the cost would be. So with them, they did it for 5 weeks instead of 12 months, and then their permit expired on December 31st, and on January 1st, they're supposed to have a new permit. So in front of us is we have a choice to make. We can look at this and decide that we want to extend them because there was only 5 weeks, a month and a week, because Auburn does not prorate we don't prorate at all our permits. Some towns do, we do not. So if you come in in the middle of the year in June, you don't pay half your permit, you pay the full permit. So that's the way Auburn's always done it, and that's the way it's the way we do things. So, what do you think?
That's the way it's done.
Well, that's
Absolutely, it's a policy, right?
It's a policy but we brought, last year, I think we had 2 that we allowed. It's our choice, because it is a policy of no prorating of permits. So now it's up to us if we want to just extend that
through the year, have them get a new permit, and because they paid for a full year and only get 5 weeks out of it. That's what we have to discuss. What do you feel like?
And I think in the past, forgive me if I'm speaking incorrectly, but I think Andy has, had requests go to the board in previous years, and obviously taken case by case, which is kind of why I wanted them to forward a written request to you. But I think depending on if it was in the past, the last 2 months of the year,
We've always.
you've at least taken into consideration that. Obviously, October is really,
That's a close one, but yeah, I know.
It's not,
but
but
we've got November, December.
December. This one is truly the end of,
Yeah.
the
Year,
end of
right.
year.
Yep. So, any more discussion? I'll
No,
take a motion to close discovery.
I make that motion.
I second the motion. Roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote to end discovery?
How do I vote to end it?
Yes.
Yeah, aye.
Aye from Ray. So now we're looking for a motion. What would you like to do?
I would like to, give them the,
The extension? Okay, so that's your motion.
that's the motion I make.
I second the motion. And roll call vote. Marion Howard, on the case of, let me see, I want to make sure I have it all right. KPB Pretzels Incorporated, the Auntie Annie's Pretzel Store. They're looking to, I just want to make sure, extend their permit that they received on 11/25 through the 2014 year. Correct?
Correct.
Second the motion. And how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0 to extend it for the year 2014. Okay?
Thank you.
Now I need a motion to close the hearing.
I make that motion.
Second the motion, 2-0 to close the hearing. Okay, that's hearing number 1. Hearing number 2, it is 6:25. It is time to open the second hearing. Second hearing is Edgemere Food Store, permit expiration date extension request. And I know we have a letter here, I read that.
Where's that?
And I don't wanna, I have Mr. Ali, I'm not gonna read the last name because I don't wanna mess it up, and Mr. Rashid, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
So the first part of the hearing is called the evidentiary part of the hearing, where you tell us why you're looking for what you're looking for, and Darlene gives us her, and then from there we close that and then we go into discussion.
All right.
So Darlene gets to talk first,
All right.
and then you go next.
That's wonderful, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ray. The gentleman here from the Edgemere Food Store, Ali Liaquat,
Yes.
and Rashid Ali, they are here because they opened a new convenience store on Oxford Street North, the Edgemere Food Store. They opened that store after many months of planning and going back and forth. They had gone through the process of all the requirements, and they worked very well with what we needed to get done. We actually did a pre-operational inspection the end of November, November 27th, and we were able to give them approval to open with consent from the building department. And again, I had explained to them the permitting process from January 1 to December 31st. So they are new business owners. They have not had a business here in Auburn. And however, they are experienced. They've had other businesses in other towns. And I wanted to let them know that they did have an option because they opened their store so close to the end of the calendar year, that if they wanted to go before the board to request an extension, they could certainly do that. It's not something that I had the authority to do, but I wanted to at least let them know that they had the chance to come before the board and ask that. They have asked a lot of questions. They've done everything that we've asked them to do, and I wanted to invite them to the board meeting to explain to the board their request personally.
And who's doing the talking over here?
Maybe me?
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, Darlene kind of laid it all out for us.
Mhm.
Anything you'd like to add?
It's kind of almost, I agree everything what Darlene just said. And I just only little bit know because we are just new business owner in the little town. So it's a little business. So we just like a little bit of new business, so saving some money for a little bit down, and we don't have much business yet.
Okay.
So that's what I just request. We just no open yet. We just need the name is open, but still it's closed. Main is like we just setting, filling, and all of the stuff like that. And people need to time to come inside the store. So it's a new business. So that's why I just request, like if you do, that's a big help for us.
Okay.
And that's all I need to tell.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Can I ask,
Oh, not
where
until
is it?
discussion.
Where-
143 North Oxford Street.
Yeah, oh,
Old Pelham's,
It used to Pelham's.
Pelham's?
used to be
Oh,
Pelham's.
Down by the water there.
Next to the barber shop.
Next to Troy's.
oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
of course you
yeah.
know where Troy's is.
Yeah,
I'm just
Near the
kidding.
barber shop.
Okay. At this point, I'll take a motion to close the evidentiary part of the hearing.
I make that motion.
Second the motion. Marion, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ray votes aye. 2-0 to close evidentiary part of the hearing. Discussion. You want to just like hit a repeat button and play what we
Yes.
talked about before?
Absolutely.
So we're looking at the same case, just a different name, really.
Exactly.
Okay? Do you have any more discussion?
No,
I'll take a motion to close the discovery.
I make that motion.
I second the motion. Roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Ray votes yes, 2-0 to close discovery part, discussion part of the hearing. Now, Marion, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make the motion.
Or actually, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't
Go
mean to
ahead, you
interrupt.
do it.
No, I can't.
Oh,
I forgot.
I make the motion that we permit that they extend
They
that.
extend?
And not, they don't have to extend it, that they can just, how do you want to vote that? Give them the whole year, or is this, the
It's-
amount that they paid is going for the whole year?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, okay.
Extend the expiration.
Just
Yeah.
extend the expiration date to
Exactly.
December 31st, 2014.
That's
So, I second the motion, and it's a roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Ray votes yes, 2-0 to extend the permit to December 31st, 2014. Welcome to town.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem.
Pleasure
Welcome,
meet-
gentlemen.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
you, darling.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Doc. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you,
Good
darling.
for
Good
you,
luck.
good luck.
Hope
Thank
you
you.
guys get really busy.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Thank
I
you.
need a motion to close the hearing.
I make that motion.
I second the motion, 2-0 to close the hearing. We still got 5 minutes before the next one, so we left off on, we finished flu, so emergency planning. Now I got Darlene all over the place.
Okay. So emergency planning, I wanted to let you know that we are going to be meeting with Sarah to be able to update some of our documents. She has sent over some documents this past week, and as far as the 24-hour contact, I wanted to get a sense of how you wanted to, because they go 3 deep on that.
Yep.
In the past, I think it was Andy, yourself,
Yep.
and whoever, if the vice chair was going to be the third person, I wanted to see how you wanted to have that set up. I think as, for the documents, obviously I'll bring them next meeting, but at least get you thinking of who wants the call in the middle of the night if, God forbid, you know, I can't go, or I have a family emergency.
Yep.
You know, how we want to structure that. We also have some planning documents to update as far as the emergency dispensing site for the school and so forth, making sure those are up to date. Andy did a great job with, you know, meeting with Sarah on a regular basis, and I know we have some good solid plans in place. So I just want to, you know, continue expanding on that, update where we need to, and because it's a new calendar year, I think this is something that's protocol
Yep.
that they automatically do for 2014. We're
Yep.
going to update those documents.
Excellent.
Okay? So keep you informed, keep you posted on that.
Mm-hmm.
The next item, mosquitoes, believe it or not, we have a mosquito control update. We actually got a notification, I think I made a copy in your packet. This is just the yearly notification if somebody wants to opt out of the spray exclusion. This is gonna be the pesticide exclusion. By law, they have that right, and we have a copy of this at the town clerk's office, so it's already been posted to the website. That letter is in your packet so that everybody is aware of it, and for the folks at home, if they wanted to opt out of having their property sprayed when they go through and do their spraying, they can do that. Or it works the other way as well. If they're noticing a high activity, they can also contact mosquito control. So it's, they work year-round to be able to keep things under control, and they do a great job at it. They're very responsive too when we have a call, myself or Paula, we call, they call right back, they're very available, and it's a real benefit to be in this program. So
Okay.
not all towns are in this program, so we're very fortunate to be able to be in the financial position that we are involved in this.
Excellent. Okay, before we move on to new business, we have about 30 seconds till we can start the next hearing. So, I'm gonna talk real slow until we hit the 30-second mark so we can start the hearing. Do you know if anybody was gonna come in for
I
this
don't
one?
believe so.
No, I believe they are not.
Okay.
They're not coming?
I talked to him this morning, and he said he didn't think he felt the need to come. He felt his letter was
The letter to,
self-explanatory.
okay.
And I had, as a courtesy, had Paula call just to,
Yep.
double check.
No, that's great.
The gentleman that that's the owner of the business, again, sent in the paperwork, and I told him it wasn't required that he be here. Obviously, it's a public meeting. We would invite anyone.
All right. Well, at this time, it is now 6:35, and I would like to open the hearing. So, to start off is evidentiary. So, Darlene, go for it.
Sure.
Anytime
All right.
Fitness?
Anytime, I'm sorry,
Is
anytime,
this the one next to Sears?
yeah. Mr. Eric
no.
Rubin,
No,
Anytime
no, okay.
Fitness, 619 Southbridge Street,
That's the
tanning
one that
facility
moved,
license.
just moved up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just moved.
So this is Anytime Fitness. They are a business that was in town previous to their move. They moved recently to 619 Southbridge Street, which is I believe, the old Ethan Allen
Yep.
store years ago. That building was renovated, and there are spots for several businesses there. This is one of the businesses that did go in there. A health club. They have tanning offered at the health club, and we worked with the owners, Eric Rubin and his wife, Mrs. Rubin, to get the tanning facility up and permitted. So again, this particular business was permitted late in the year. The pre-operational inspection was done at the end of November. And again, we wanted to explain to the property owner, to the business owner, that all permitting is done from calendar year, January 1st to December 31st. That was explained to them. I did explain that they could apply to the board through a written request, which is why you have a written request before you. They have a tanning facility. I believe they only have one room with one bed. So that inspection was done. We got all the signage and so forth, and we got them permitted, and they have a current permit and are operating under that current permit. So that is before you, a request to extend the permit fee through the calendar year to 2014.
Okay. Marion, would you like to give me a motion to close the evidentiary part of the hearing?
I'd like to make that motion,
I'll
yes.
second the motion. It is a roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
Aye?
Ray votes aye, 2-0 to close evidentiary. Now we're in discussion. So, we've had a convenience store, we've had a food shop, and now we got a tanning place.
And we're losing money.
Not really.
No, I know. So this is from 12/2/13
Yeah.
to January 1st?
Yeah.
Is it, yeah.
No, actually December 31st, so it was only 29 days. They paid $150 for 29 days. That's what a permit for a tanning is. And it's usually $150 for the entire year.
They're not looking for a refund on this, are they?
No, they're
No,
looking to
just-
extend it the same way
Okay.
the others.
Yeah.
So, any other discussion? Anything you need to ask before we
No.
move forward? Okay, ahead.
I'm sorry,
Yep.
I just need to offer. They have 150 paid. I just wanted to clarify. It was actually 120.
Oh, okay. Oh, they wrote one. Someone wrote
Yeah.
150.
Girl, 150.
Yeah,
All right.
I think he meant to write
Yeah.
120.
Oh,
Okay.
check
The
the,
billing is 120. So,
Right.
all right. So it's normally $10 a month, is what it comes down to.
Well, it's, with our new fee schedule, it's $100 plus
Plus
$20 per
$10.
bed.
Per bed. Okay. So if he adds another bed this year, he'll get charged right away then. If he does.
Yes,
the
he would
second.
have to pay
Pay
for
for a
another,
bed.
yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
And how often do they get inspected? Or the fitness?
I
The inspections are, I believe they're yearly.
every town's different. Some do twice a year, some do yearly. So. Okay. Any other discussion? Would you like to make a motion?
I do.
With that motion
I
to be to
agree
close
to
the.
extend the hear-
No, you have to make the motion to close the.
I make a motion to close the,
discussion. I second the motion to close the discussion part of the hearing. And now, since that is closed, I'm sorry, that's a roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
aye?
Gray votes aye, 2-0 to close the hearing, close the discussion part of the hearing. Marion, do you have any ideas on what you'd like to do? Would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to have him, to extend that,
To December 31st, 2014?
exactly,
I will second that motion.
$120.
I will second that
Okay.
motion,
Okay.
and it's a roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, 2 yeses to 0 noes.
Boy, that's good.
And now we just need a motion to close the
I
hearing.
make that motion.
I second the motion. Hearing's closed.
It's good.
Done, and done.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And I know the businesses appreciate it.
It was good.
It's nice to have businesses coming into town that are running out of town, so. Okay, next is director's issues.
Okay, so,
Okay.
in your packet, I wanted to, I don't know if this is specified anywhere. I just wanted to let you know that we do have, I think you saw as part of the bill schedule, we have the official advertisement for the regulation and the fees, so that, I know you need like a, you need a magnifying glass to see it. I don't.
Very last page.
Oh, last page?
I'm not sure why they sent it so small, but that's the way it looks
Yeah.
when it goes
Oh,
on the
that's
paper.
good.
Yeah.
So you have that, so we are all squared away on that. We have a budget that was due. This is budget time of year. So I was able to get that together. We have the Board of Health budget, we have the Animal Control budget, the Animal Inspector budget. Those numbers were all prepared and given to the director for review. So once he kind of takes a look at it and approves it, I'll obviously bring you a copy and,
Sure.
and, you know, let you know what's happening with that. But this is the start of the budget season, and there will be, you know, many meetings, I'm sure, through the next several months to be able to work and see how that goes. We had the initial budget kickoff meeting with the Finance Committee about a month or so ago. Also, I don't think I mentioned this under the flu, because we were flying through it, but the flu billing,
Okay.
so for all of the flu clinics that we've had, we did a massive billing on
excellent.
that. This last clinic that we had in December, We had a senior volunteer work very hard to be able to get that paperwork together and organized for us. So that is getting ready to be sent out. I should be able to give you an update on that next time around.
How was it at the event when how did it go that day? You guys did it at the
High
first
school?
annual, the first annual thing?
It was wonderful.
Good.
I have, let me just, I don't want to give you the wrong numbers.
No, I don't.
Do it
I
off
just
the top
want to know
of my head.
how.
We did, so we actually hit my goal. I think I said to the nurses, if we get 50, I would be thrilled. And we had 50.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's good.
So it was 50 more shots than we didn't, you
Yep.
know, than we did ahead of time.
Mhm.
And Marion was there. I think she can echo. We heard so many positive comments for people. They just were thrilled to be able to, you know, to come and have it in such a unusual place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
So-
another one of those things is if they're going for one thing, it's a lot of people don't want to just, they see flu clinic, they're just not going to drive for a flu clinic, but you're involved in something else, and like you did
Right.
when you did the vote and vac, and
Yeah.
you're going to do this at the mall, it shows people that we're willing to go out and see
Right.
them, so they don't have
Yeah,
to make a
that's
special
right.
day.
Right.
Go shopping at the mall and then come down and get your flu
And
shot.
they were thrilled. They walk by and they go, oh, flu clinic.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did,
So,
we had such a
good.
positive outcome on that, and I mean, I was so thrilled to be able to do 50. I mean, 50 was wonderful.
Like Andy always said, if we vaccinate 50, that saves 200 people, because it's like he always used to say, if you get vaccinated, the 3 people around you, you're helping
right.
that out too, so.
So I think the more that we're able to be flexible
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, try to make it as easy as possible for people to get shots, and that's why, you know, I wanna try them all again, because I think
Yeah.
we'll have a good turnout.
Excellent.
Okay, so flu billing, we'll have another batch going out. I'll give you an update on that next time around. Correspondence, I think that in your packet, there was just one letter for tobacco control. We provided some education for Massachusetts smoke-free workplace law. There was some smoking going on that wasn't consistent with the smoke-free workplace law, so we
Okay.
provided some education on that.
Good.
The health inspector position.
We can't talk about that, we don't have a 3-man board, because I have to leave,
Oh,
so we
okay.
have to skip that.
Oh, it was just an update.
Okay. I don't think it's
Oh, okay,
possible
that's
for me to be here when you speak about that.
Okay,
So, we can move on to concerns.
okay. I don't. At this time, I think actually I'm going to move right on to permit
Sure.
renewals,
Mhm.
because that's our main concern right now, as far as this is the season where we're trying to get all of the paperwork processed for permit renewals.
Yep.
At this time, we have still some outstanding businesses that have not paid to date. The list is getting smaller, which I'm happy to
Yeah.
report.
44 out of 280
So, we're gonna,
that didn't pay there, that haven't paid.
Yeah. So we have, you know, obviously this is something that we have to talk about because it's, you know, I think it's something that happens every year and we want to mitigate the problems that go along with this. I can tell you Paula has quite a lot of paperwork to process and a lot of checks and so forth that need to go in a timely manner down to the collector's office. The finances have to be in line, so we can't be holding on to checks. We have to get the paperwork processed, so when things are coming in late, it messes up that whole stream. We want to obviously, you know, be business friendly, but we can't operate having, you know, renewals come in late all the time. So I just wanted to kind of give you an update on that. Right now, we have been, every day, we have questions, we have emails, we have calls, and so that, you know, we're stopping to address that. Obviously, every call is important, but not having, still dealing with renewals now, you know, causes a cog in the the chain. So we have any permit renewals that are coming in. Obviously, we need to get the ones that are outstanding. But there are late fees assessed
Good.
to the businesses for the permits. Technically, we can assess a $25 late fee per permit according to our fee schedule. However, I don't think that our goal is to hit the businesses with 25, if, say you have a food service, you have a retail food, and you have a bakery permit, that would actually be a $75 late fee that would be accrued. I don't necessarily think this year that we need to do that. We want to just get people to get them in on time.
Okay.
So our goal, and obviously, the board's input, if you are,
When were they due?
Yeah.
Was it December 31st
Oh,
they were
the
due?
31st.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're 2 weeks overdue.
Yeah.
I know last year it was one of my goals, and we dropped the hammer a few times last year, if I remember. I think it was me, you, and Alice on the board, and we want to stop this. We're tired. We don't want to chase people.
No,
and that's
we don't have the staff.
Nope.
We don't, all is one person, I'm one person, and certainly until we get some help, we cannot go around in a circle here.
No.
So there has to be, there has to be limits as to what we can do for paperwork.
Okay.
So with all permit renewals, anything that is not here by the 31st, obviously is assessed a late fee.
Yep.
Again, we're trying to work with businesses. I'm not looking to hit them for every single permit, although we can.
Yep.
All right? So Paula and I have been working very diligently on trying to get the people that are still outstanding. But I think that the board has to start thinking about, what steps we want to take. If people are not permitted and don't have their permit renewals in by the end of this month, I think that we need to take some steps.
I think last year we brought it in front of the board, and
Absolutely.
people paid that day so they wouldn't have to come in front of us. We had a lot of people, and I think we had two that showed up for the meeting that hadn't paid.
And we have some,
Yep.
we don't want to get into businesses that continually do it, but we don't, again, the permits are good, as everybody knows. If you're conducting businesses in Auburn, you know that the permit renewal is January 1st to December 31st.
Yep.
We send out renewal paperwork as a courtesy, but people know that that permit is good until the 31st. So if they're here and they're stamped in before, on or by the 31st, they're fine.
Yep.
But we can't chase people with paperwork because it ends up we spend the whole month
So
on
what's the
back and forth.
alternative?
The alternative is to look at assessing possibly the $25 late fee per permit. To, talk about if you want to, hold their permit. I think that just having this discussion, making you aware of it, kind of starts the process to think about it.
Isn't, what happened previously? Didn't we-
Last year in January, we brought them in front of the board. If they
Yeah.
didn't pay by whenever, I think we said if you had to come in front of the board. If you didn't come in front of the board, their permit would be pulled until they met with us, and we only meet every 2 weeks, so they wouldn't be open for those times.
Yep.
I think that's what we had said, and everybody, within a week,
I can
everybody
remember
but
that.
two,
I can remember
two
that.
came in that night, and one followed Paula back down to the office after the meeting to pay.
Well, I think we should try to follow through with that then.
Do you want to send out a letter to people that have?
We
Gave them a time
have, we have
to-
44, huh?
You gave them the time to pay by such and such a day.
But I still think we,
Come before the board.
but we still gave a late fee.
Oh, no.
Oh,
it-
absolutely.
yeah, it
definitely
has to
gave
be
it,
a
yeah.
late fee.
Absolutely.
Definitely a late
I
fee.
agree.
But the ones that, like Auntie Anne's is on here, I don't have to worry
No,
about
because
them.
they came in front of us tonight.
No,
Right.
no, I have to,
Yeah, there's a
full
few.
disclosure, anybody that put in a written request to extend that,
Right.
that's not something that they got assessed a late fee because they put in the
Exactly.
request ahead of time.
And I saw all the dates on them and they were in, so
Right.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
But they put an extension on it because they weren't able to pay it, or?
Oh, no, the
No,
three
because-
people we met with tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the ones they extended.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else has sent in paperwork to extend it for any reason, so,
And the reason that
okay,
they
yeah.
asked for that extension is because that they had opened their business so late in
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
It's not like a typical operation that has been open year-round.
That's all the review letters.
so.
Okay. So do you want, does the board want to take a look at sending out a letter? I mean, if we have,
Do we have a form letter we've used in the past?
No.
You have to
but I
create
can-
one?
I can pull the one that we use.
Well, it doesn't
last
matter,
year.
I'm just saying, yeah, whatever, or if Darlene has one she likes with better language, that's fine.
yeah, we'll work on
If we can send one out,
Yes,
and then,
I
and then
agree.
figure out, make sure we get, the money that we're gonna collect is gonna pay for the postage and everything like that, that's what that
I just
extra.
don't want to have to sit on the phone and call all these
No,
people.
no,
No.
send a letter out and just put, if you do not pay by, well, you're already overdue, this is your penalty, this is your fee, and anyone not paying by the next board, well, no, that's too short a time. We gotta figure out a date.
Julie coming here?
She does. So, yeah, it happens all the time. So we gotta figure out a date we want it paid by, or they're gonna come in, will we do the first meeting in February, they'd have to come in front of the board? So. There's one already.
Our next meeting for the Board of Health is the 27th.
And I don't know if you'll have time to get everything in now, so.
I'm not gonna have time to get them in February
We look at the
10th.
10th, that's Martin Luther King Day, isn't it?
No,
No?
Martin Luther King.
Oh, no, it's the
Day
17th
in
is a holiday.
January.
There's, I know
The
this
17th is a holiday.
is a holiday, that's President's Day.
So
so.
the 10th or the 24th. So
I don't wanna go too late, I would say the 10th.
that's
I
what
go with
I
you.
would say.
Well, I
Me
mean, do
too.
you want to switch it up and go the first week in February?
It's up to you guys, whatever works for you. I'm available, so it doesn't matter to me. Would you like to go
Okay, sure.
the first Monday?
I
Sounds
mean,
good.
if we,
That's
because
in
that's so
February, right?
close,
Mhm.
so that you didn't have back-to-back meetings, do you want to forego the 27th and go to the 3rd?
We could table the 27th, go to the 3rd.
If
and
nothing's
If
pressing.
nothing's pressing. I have no problem with that, we can move it to the 3rd, and that way, if that worked for you, Mary, we
That
wouldn't have
does.
another one this month.
That's right, that's okay with me.
So in the letter, if they don't pay by the 3rd, they will,
No,
No.
Pay by the 30th,
Yeah.
because that's when we have to announce our meeting.
by the 30th, they're scheduled for,
You have to put 30th at 4 PM, because at 4 PM is when we put all out, because there'll be hearings.
Yeah.
So you have to have it all in by that time.
they have to come before the board at such
I-
and such a time on this
Yep.
day.
I think.
You wanna do it the
just-
29th?
Yeah,
Just-
because,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We'll
I
have
understand.
everybody walking in at
At
quarter of
3:45,
4,
yeah.
and Paula and I will be, trying to get the meeting
No,
posted.
yeah, exactly, so,
So, I think,
the 29th, that's plenty of time, that gives them an extra month from when it was actually due, so I have no problem with today,
so we're gonna get realistically, we would get the letters out,
Wednesday?
by Wednesday or
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Mhm.
And they'll have to have payment in by the 29th.
that gives them 10 days, that's,
Otherwise, we'll have them for a hearing scheduled February 3rd.
yep,
To
Okay.
discuss their permit.
That's perfect.
Whether or not they're gonna continue to operate.
yep, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Did you want to leave the date?
Yeah,
Not with
those
it.
dates.
February 3rd, the meeting, and they have to pay by February
No, January.
January.
January 29th, final payment.
January 29th. And February 3rd is the hearing.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. Again, my goal is to, to make this more efficient, and I think, if we're able to kind of get a handle on it this year, we won't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
To this extent, each year. I mean, you're always gonna have some late ones.
Yeah.
But, having close to 50 of them.
That's
Oh, that's it.
that's 20% of our
Yeah, that's
of our
bad.
total. That's that's not good.
So you got kind of a form letter anyway.
Yeah, they'll have something, they'll put it out, and that's good.
So for animal permit, permit renewals, I wanted to, just let you know, we did send out the, permit renewals. Through the, animal permit review process, we have, had discussions, I think I had mentioned before, with, the animal control officer and the animal inspector, because we had, taken a look at what permits we were giving out and actually how the permitting process works for the animals.
Okay.
We get a lot of inquiries about people that, even in the past year, people that want to have an animal, what's required, is a permit needed? I think the most recent one that you might remember was the horse. Somebody wanted to have a horse.
Yep.
And they, didn't actually have the space and area for a horse.
Yeah.
So we get many inquiries about animal permits. Recently, we had an inquiry come through for somebody that it currently gets a permit but didn't understand whether or not they were allowed an exemption. We reached out to the animal control staff, and they have done a lot of investigation with the state, Department of Agriculture and so forth, and we have some information that actually just came in regarding permits. And the permitting process for what's required, what I would like to do is to be able to review what we have for permits and speak with the animal inspector about what inspections are being done, and then cross-check those to make sure that the animal inspections we're doing are actually in line with the permits that we're giving.
Right.
Because I think what's happening, and again, I don't know, but I suspect that we're doing a lot more animal inspections than we are giving permits.
Yeah.
So we're trying to, I'm just gathering information right now, and I'm trying to get some clarity on that. And I just wanted to kind of let you know that's something that we are looking into, and maybe in future meeting, we have some of the animal staff come in to try to explain this, because
Yeah.
they know it best.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll make you a copy of this and, give you some more information, because I'm still trying to understand it as well. But the animal control and the animal inspector are out there, every day, and we have a annual inspection barn book that has to be done every year, and this is actually the time of year that it's done. I believe it's November through March.
Yep.
So I think by March, we'll have a good idea of how many inspections we're doing, and, we'll be able to kind of look and see, what that corresponds to the animal permits we're giving out. I know Department of Agriculture has some exemptions for people that have, that need permits. A lot of the farmers that do their own raising of animals for their family and so forth, there are exemptions for that and other things. So I just wanted to let you know, it's something that we're just trying to improve upon, and I'll give you, as we go through the process and find out, we'll bring that
So
before
they're
you.
not being permitted right now, some of these.
Some of them may not be permanent, yeah.
Yeah, and we're not going to assess any late fees because we're still trying to gather information about it.
Right.
Okay, so that, more to come on that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. The solid waste, you have spoken about the solid waste abatements previously, actually last January. Andy had requested authority to sign approvals on behalf of the board for anything that was a straightforward abatement. By this, for example, I mean, if somebody qualified for a senior exemption, as far as, certain exemptions that are allowed. If somebody went from a large toter to a small toter,
Right.
there are some examples of abatements that are allowable. These abatements get processed from the assessor's office and come to our attention. We do have a bunch of them that I've signed with, with the board's approval,
Yep.
and hopefully,
Well, when
still-
we approved it last year, we did say the director. We didn't say Andy. We said
Okay.
we said Andy or whoever's sitting in his
Okay,
chair.
great.
So it wasn't just for Andy. It was for the director. It
And
was
that's why I just wanted
Yeah,
to
no,
make sure
no,
you were
that's
still
fine.
comfortable.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's just.
No, that's
not just
fine.
Andy. Okay. So I have signed some abatements. You can certainly peruse those. I did sign some today. Again, they were kind of straightforward abatements. Anything that happened to be something that,
I agree.
if somebody received a bill and hadn't put in their request for an abatement before the bill came, those are something that would come to the board
Yes.
for a hearing, okay?
And Mary would not let anything slip by.
Yeah,
No.
Believe
no,
me.
she's very,
pretty good.
No,
very
that's
on
good.
top of things
Good.
about, having that happen.
Thank God.
Okay, inspections. So I don't have, a lot of information for you for this, unfortunately. However, I can tell you that with this past weekend, I was, out the whole weekend for several frozen pipes that had happened in town for
Nice.
food establishments.
And then there was power outages.
Yeah, there were many power outages, and because of the sub-zero, and unfortunately, I was gonna show you pictures, but we don't have the PowerPoint in here.
Okay.
I can show them for you for the next meeting. We had gotten called by the fire department and police department on Saturday and Sunday. I was pretty much in town
Wow.
the whole weekend for a series of frozen pipes. Now, there were actually 3, and I was just notified about another one today. Because of the frozen, those sub-zero temperatures, what happened was a lot of them froze, and then depending on if the temperature warmed up a little bit, so if the place was in one case, in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning, we had a shower, literally a shower. Water pouring out of the ceiling, out of the light fixtures and everything. It was pretty,
In a
pretty serious
facility
in a
or?
food establishment.
Wow.
So we had many concerns about that, obviously. Fire department was able to get the facility safe, and police secured the scene and so forth. We had one establishment that actually had 2 pipe breaks on 2 separate days.
Oh.
So the minute they got one under control, they actually had a second pipe break. It was actually heartbreaking to see.
Yeah.
Another facility had frozen pipe, and what happens is with these, they also affect the water pressure and the fire suppression systems. So any pressure reduction causes the fire department to be called. So through this process, we got all the places under control, we got the repairs made, we got all the professionals, the building department, the fire department, the police department was able to all work together, and I was able to get re-inspections done at all the places to get them back up in operation. The one thing that I did kind of take from it is that I think we can do a better job at getting some information out, as far as educating the businesses to, God forbid, hopefully we don't have severe weather like that in the future, but it's always a nice thing. Yeah, everybody lives in New England and everybody goes through the same weather, but sometimes you're going so much in the normal routine that
You're
it's
not
nice to
thinking
have a reminder, say, oh, that's right, I
React.
really should make sure that that utility area is
Warm.
totally, yeah, let's turn up the heat a little
Yeah.
bit extra over the weekend, because
Wait.
it was unbelievable.
The weekend before, we had 12 out
Wow.
in Framingham. So what we did is I went around some of the restaurants and I had them, a lot of them pulled their drop ceilings, opened up the drop ceilings so the
So
heat would get
the
up, leave a sink with a little water dripping so that
Yeah.
water's always moving. So there is some stuff, I know the government sent out a couple paperwork what to do with extreme weather. So something like that would be nice to have on the website for, and then we're gonna get, I know the people in town know about the website, but we gotta get the businesses involved in it too,
Yeah.
because if there's a food recall or something like that, we can
Yeah.
pop it on there.
And we do.
I know you
right.
do throw that stuff out there, but I don't think a lot of businesses really go to the
Yeah.
website, and I
And
think
I-
they should.
I think that's a good point, is because we do have those tips, you know, the MEMA tips,
Yep.
the stuff that comes
Yeah.
out from the state and the federal. That information goes out there, the recalls go on the town website, but I think that if we're able to, that can be one of the goals,
Yep.
you know, this year, is to be able to try to get the businesses to realize that we can, you know, remind them about important things, give them
Yep.
some education.
Yep.
So I just wanted to let you know, we had 4 establishments that had frozen
Wow.
pipes. Like I said, one establishment had
2 sets.
two different breaks. But it was, like I said, you always try to learn something from a bad experience. And I feel for these places, because it's not easy to get back in operation. And obviously, you know, our role is to make sure that they get back and everything's safe, so that
Yeah.
when they turn the power back on or turn the water back on, nobody's getting electrocuted.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
You know, so we had, the wiring inspector was wonderful. He stayed in contact with me throughout the weekend. You know, the building inspector, everybody worked very well to get through the emergency. But like I said, I want to do more outreach and get some education out to the people
Right.
that need it.
Besides through the television.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
flyers or something.
Excellent.
And like I said, I have plenty of pictures I can share next time we're in the
Wait.
room down there,
Yeah.
if so
Yeah.
needed.
No,
It's okay.
it's sometimes just good to see the pictures, because,
Yeah.
you know, not that I feel bad
I
for
don't
people,
wanna
but
see 'em.
sometimes you see like, wow, you don't realize it.
I
Like,
crank up our heat.
any new establishments?
We have, not new, recently new,
No.
some of the establishments that you had here today.
Or the ones that were in the last 2
But,
months.
yeah, we do have, plans for, I think I told you, we had the plans for the Outback.
Yep.
They're,
Moving.
they're gonna be, right, moving to a new location. We have, the Auburn Middle School, we just got plans last week, for the kitchen, area, so we'll, take a look at that. Any other new establishments? The renovation down at, Cumbies.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, they're gonna do a beautiful big store there.
I saw they knocked down the house that was behind there and
Yes,
everything?
yeah.
So
So they
nice.
started
They've already poured some
Poured
type
the
of foundation.
Yep,
Nice.
so
Where's
they've
that?
started the foundation.
They have
Corner of
Cumberland
20
Farms in
and South
Framingham,
Street,
they
right
make
here.
pizza,
Yeah.
they do everything.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
really, really nice, and that's what they're
Oh,
trying to do.
nice.
And I do the inspection, it's beautiful, and they
Nice.
do a really good job with it, so that's great, that's
Yeah.
excellent.
I'm real hopeful that this,
The- the-
because they're gonna have so much more room,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a really nice setup.
Yeah, like I said, the one that's on Route 30 in Framingham is amazing, and they're very busy, they're right off the pike, and here, same thing, you're right on Route 20, so I think they're gonna be very busy.
Yeah, so we have some plans for that. In front of you, Marion,
Yeah,
I
I
have
reviewed
the
it.
communicable disease report.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, and we've set our next meeting for February 3rd,
Okay.
2014.
Are we gonna absolutely table the 27th?
We're tabling the 27th unless something comes up that we
Unless-
need to do, and then
Right.
Darlene can call us the week before and let us know that she really needs us to have a meeting.
All right,
That sounds good.
otherwise it's
Otherwise,
February 3rd.
it's February 3rd, and that way we can get all those permitting issues taken care of.
I will let Steve know.
And do we have to, because that's not our normal day, we
No.
just put in a request for the room?
I will
Yeah.
let Sue know.
That'd be great.
All right, anything else? Any other comments or concerns from the peanut gallery?
Not the peanut gallery.
Okay, I'll take a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second the motion, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, have a good night.